started here. All right, so good morning, everybody. This morning we're going to be looking at getting lists of Democrats and the resources that are available to you for organizing here in Bernalillo County. So we're going to go over three basic things here: reasons for getting lists of Democrats, and then we're going to define what we mean by lists. And then we're going to look at specific resources for those to getting lists. And we're going to start with looking at pretty much these two things together: the reasons and defining the lists. Okay, so real quickly, we have organization we define as a collection of people working together to achieve a common purpose and a specific set of objectives. That's what we're doing as Democrats nationally, state, and here in Bernalillo County. And of course, in Bernalillo County, we have roughly 200,000 registered Democrats living in 607 precincts and organized into 64 wards. So as ward and precinct chairs, what we are doing is organizing at the local level by determining issues of concern to precinct members and working to increase voter knowledge, empowerment, and turnout within wards and precincts. We're connecting communities with our elected officials and Democratic Party candidates, supporting the Democratic Party of New Mexico platform, and of course, we're electing Democrats. And so that's who we are, and this is what we're doing. And so what we need to do that is lists of people. So that's what we're saying a list is. It's people who are identified by precincts and that have their contact information. So that's a basic definition of a list for our purposes of organizing. So that was those first two things. Now we're going to look at the resources that we have available to get those lists. We have three basic resources. One is the DPBC TeamBuilder Directory, TBD. We have VoteBuilder and the VoteBuilder Service Team, EST, and we have candidate campaigns. Those are the three ways we can get lists here in Bernalillo County. So let's look at the TeamBuilder Directory. The TeamBuilder Directory, what we formerly call the database, is a searchable directory of Bernalillo County Democrats. We can get, elected leaders that were elected at the ward, county, and SCC to the ward, county, SCC, volunteers that are identified with skill sets or who previously volunteered, people who are engaged with the DPBC somehow. So maybe they attended meetings, webinars, or they've subscribed to the Blue Review. And the directory is similar to a phone book. Some of us remember phone books, those paper things where you could look up a name, and then they'd also have the address. So you'd have like the name, and they'd have the address and the phone number. Well, this directory has the name, last name, first name, address, phone number, also has email addresses and wards and precincts. So it's a very useful directory for local Democrats, local active Democrats that know that there is a local Democratic Party. Because as we know, a lot of people don't really know about the local party. They think Democrats and they think nationally, but these people in this directory have had some contact with the local Democratic Party. So who gets access to that directory? Well, party officers, so myself, Marcella, Danny, our treasurer and secretary, ward chairs, ward vice chairs get access, precinct chairs get access, standing committee chairs, our rules committee and resolutions committee chairs, and active volunteers who are designated as a liaison by the ward chair. So everybody on this call can have access to the directory. So what is it good to pull lists for? Well, if you want to have a leadership meeting, so you want to get together all your precinct chairs, or you want to get together all your CCC members. You want to have a leadership meeting. What are we going to do in our precinct? What are we going to do in our ward? This is a great place to look for that contact information. If you want to recruit volunteers, you know, you need block captains, somebody to help you. You're going to be doing a canvassing. This is a great place to look. These people understand, they know that there is work to be done here at the local level. If you want to have ward and cluster meetings, you live in Ward 11A, and Ward 11A, B, and C have a monthly meeting, and we can use this list to get names of people that we can email and say, hey, we're going to be having Javier Martinez come and talk with us this month. Please come and join us. So it's a great place to get that information. It's a lot more too. As you look in this directory, you'll find a lot more that you can use it for. So this is how you get access. This login here will lead you to a form that's on our website. And you just fill out that form, and Carlene Nordholm, who is the administrator for the directory, will get you a login and a password. And she's very fast. You'll get it within a day at the latest. She's wonderful. And then after that, you'll log in here and put your login information and get into it. So this is what the homepage looks like. It is very simple, and I'll go ahead and pull it up now, and we'll take a real quick look at it here. So this is the what the homepage looks like after you've logged in. And very simple, she has tips for using it. Along the top, there are different drop-down boxes that you can look at, all these different views that you can see. And within there, this is a database. You'll be able to see all these different views of all these different lists here. And down here, you have some more of the same thing. These are the different different things that you can look at. Each one of those pages has this here, which you can scroll from one page to the next if there are more pages. You can export. Once you get down and say you've narrowed it down to the people in your precinct that you want to export into a document, a file, you can export it either into a PDF document, to Excel, Word, an XML file, or a CSV file. You can print it right from there as well. And then over here, if you want to do a quick search, you can do that. So say I'm looking and I say, well, I want to find Marcela Duarte. I can open up one of the lists. I can put Marcela in here and search, and it'll bring up all the Marcelas that are in the database. I could put Duarte in here, and it'll bring up all the Duartes that are in the database. And then I can narrow it down further by filtering, maybe by precinct or ward, any of the fields that are there. So each one of the pages has those features: the export and print, the scrolling through pages, and the search button. So it says searchable, easy to use directory.
Laura, can I ask a question? Can you explain what, the different exporting, like for CSV, just for?
CSV is similar to Excel, and I don't quite know the difference. I think, Carly, maybe after we can look at what that would be. I always export in Excel.
Okay.
I can move things around using Excel. But thank you for that. So this first little link here will take you to a page like this. We'll take you to this page. And this just shows you the same things that were on the scroll button up on top. So here's the same, it's different ways to get to the same information, but it's more visual. So if this is something that works for you, you can look at this and say, well, you know, I really want to look, I'm looking for my precinct chairs, or I want to see who's on the rules committee. I'm on the rules committee. I want to see who else is on the rules committee. Here's what you do here. You can look for voter inactive. Sometimes as we know, precinct chairs, ward chairs, people move. And when they change their registration and they're out of that former precinct, it'll show up here with the voter inactive, which is great for those people. If they've moved into your precinct, now you know, oh, I have somebody who I can now recruit to be active in my precinct. So you can look up counts. You want to know how many Dems are in your ward and precinct? There's lists here that can show you how many Democrats there are in your precinct and ward. And then here's the skills section. So if you want to see, well, is there anybody who can do data entry in my precinct who said that's one of the things they like to do? You can look up the contact skills, sort it by your precinct, filter your precinct, and find out if anybody there is available. You can look up people who have volunteered for the coordinated campaign in the past. Those are great people. If you're going to be phone banking, they can help you do that then, right? So this is a really great tool to use to find lists of Democrats who can help you in organizing. So let's get back here. And the next tool we're going to look at is VoteBuilder and the VoteBuilder service team. So VoteBuilder is software that is was created by NGP Van, and it is used and it is used by the Democratic Party and associated campaigns to track interaction with potential voters. Okay. And who gets access to VoteBuilder? Well, ward chairs or their designee, so a ward vice chair or a ward secretary, let's say, precinct chairs with approval from a ward chair. A precinct chair can get access to VoteBuilder. To get access to VoteBuilder, you'll email votebuilder@bernalillodems.org, and our wonderful Beth Jordan, who is our VoteBuilder admin, will give you access. She'll grant you access. And so she's the one that takes care of that. And she's also someone who can troubleshoot. Every now and then, something may happen where you might be having trouble getting in, and Beth can help troubleshoot that. Now, as far as training, to learn how to use VoteBuilder, this is a great training. It's offered by the National Democratic Training Committee, and it's VoteBuilder 101 training. So in that training, they teach how to use VoteBuilder to create lists. They teach you how to utilize basic capabilities of VoteBuilder and how to enter data back in. And that's really important. When you pull lists from VoteBuilder, you want to enter the data back into VoteBuilder, because that helps to update the list. It doesn't update it automatically. VoteBuilder pulls from voter registration files, from the voter files, and voter files are sacred, right? We don't want just anybody going in and changing somebody's birthday or their address. That person, you know, if I move, I need to change my address with the Secretary.
Okay, Joel, there you go.
If everybody, if you could please mute, if you're not, thank you. So it's up to me to change my voter registration. So when we change things in VoteBuilder, it helps, but it's not instantaneous because VoteBuilder does draw from voter files. Okay, so to access this training, you'll go to this link right here. You'll sign up with the NDTC, and it's a virtual training, and they offer wonderful trainings. Take a look through all their resources there. It's a great organization. Okay, so what we have here, which is really cool, as I said before, we have a VoteBuilder service team, VST, and Beth Jordan is the lead for the VoteBuilder service team, and the VoteBuilder service team is ready to help you by creating the lists you need for your organizing work, your Democratic Party organizing work. So there are different types of lists that they'll pull for you. They'll pull one for finding volunteers, a call list. They'll pull an address list. So if you want to go by and drop a flyer, or when we get to good time to be able to meet door to door, face to face, address list. We can now pull mailing lists. So if you want to do a Avery mailing list, they'll pull that for you. General canvas of precincts, call list, so a broader list. Precinct general reference, not used for a specific canvas, and then also a GOTV list. So these are all the lists that are that you can select from. And the VoteBuilder service team, when you put your request in, they may go back and forth with you just to make sure they're getting the list that you want for what you're doing. So who gets access to the VoteBuilder service team? Well, ward chairs, ward vice chairs, precinct chairs, and active volunteers designated by the ward chair can pull these lists. And this is where the list resides. Let's go over there. So if you go to our website, and up here on top, precincts, wards and precincts, down to VoteBuilder. You can, choosing the right list. This tells you all about the VoteBuilder service team. And so you can really get more information about those different lists and see, is this what I want? And then you can click the request form. And this is where you'll put in that list request. So it's a very simple form, and there's more information here. This terms of use, this is for Democratic Party. This is for ward building, party building activity. If you're going to be working specifically for a candidate, and we'll go over that next, you'll go through the candidate's campaign. But if you're looking to get people to help you in your precinct or ward, you can use this here. Okay, and then we also recommend using minivan, and that's a whole separate thing. There is a training for minivan on the website as well. So you'll click that you agree to these terms of use, and the next page will take you to a place where you'll fill in your information and submit it. And within, they say within 48 hours, you'll get your list. It's usually even get back to you. They're just wonderful, very helpful people. So it's a great service that they offer. So that's the VoteBuilder service team. And then once again, there's the list request. You can click right on there if you want to go straight to the list request. So how to access, first, like I said, you go to the list request, see what kind of list you like, and then this is the request form, the link to the form. And both of these links are in that file that you'll have there for your slide deck. So resources for lists. So we've gone over the TeamBuilder directory, VoteBuilder, and the VoteBuilder service team. And now we're going to look at candidate campaigns. That's the third way you can get lists of Democrats to organize in your precinct or ward. So candidate campaigns. Campaigns use VoteBuilder. Now they target certain universes, right? They usually have a strategy that they're working on for their campaigns. And whenever they give out the lists, they also track what's happening with those lists that they've given out. So those are things that are very important when pulling candidate campaign lists or getting lists from campaigns. So using their lists supports their strategy, what they're working on to get themselves elected, and it's in line with the DPNM policy. Now, the Democratic Party of New Mexico, they're the ones that contract with campaigns for the use of VoteBuilder. So whenever you're doing campaign work, it's important that you go through the campaigns. Once again, it supports their strategy, so you're working in line with what they're doing, and it's also in line with what they've agreed to with the Democratic Party. Okay, so when you work with campaigns, you want to do it when you're distributing candidate literature. So if you're looking for a list, who am I gonna, you've got a stack of candidate literature and you want to distribute that, you're going to want to work with the candidate's campaign and find out who they want to get that literature and use their list. If you're calling or texting on behalf of a candidate, you're going to want to use their list because they have a strategy about who they want people to call, who they want to contact in your precinct or ward. So when are times when you can use both? Well, when you recruit volunteers to help you get out the vote, like we're doing now for the CD1 race, you can use our TeamBuilder database to get names of people who can be volunteers who can help you. Or you can use our VoteBuilder service team list to find people who can help you do that work. But then when you actually come to doing the work of phone banking, texting, canvassing, or getting their literature out, then you want to use the candidates list. Okay, so use our list to help find volunteers to help you, but if you're working with a specific campaign, use their list to find out where they want you to target. So once again, party building and organizing, use party or resources, the TeamBuilder database and our VoteBuilder and VoteBuilder service team. And then campaigning for a candidate, use the candidate's account and list. Okay. So want to end with this. This is our 2-year cycle. Some of you who have been in the other trainings have seen this. Just a reminder, this is what we're doing, right? Over the 2 years that we've been elected to these leadership positions, odd years, we're organizing, we've elected leadership, and now we're electing state leadership. This year we have a special election, 2021 general election. At the end of this year, we're going to have a municipal election that we will be getting out the vote for, right? We're organizing throughout this entire 2-year term. Next year, we're going to have conventions where we're going to be electing delegates that'll go to the state convention. We'll have our county convention that'll pass through to send our delegates to the state convention to decide the order of our Democratic candidates on the primary ballot. Then after the primary ballot, we'll have a primary election, we'll have the general election, even number years, presidential years. We have these additional conventions where we have the post-primary election to elect delegates to the national convention in presidential years. So this is the organizing we're doing throughout our 2-year cycle. And so for ward and precinct chairs, next steps, pull lists of Democrats, your ward and precinct officers from the TeamBuilder directory. Meet with officers and precinct chairs. You can use one of our Zoom licenses. We have 3 available to you. Introduce yourselves, set goals, get commitments, some kind of commitments to start working, preferably, hopefully for the CD1 election, as we say here in the last bullet point. But over the next 2 years, what are you going to do to grow engagement and commitment in your ward and precinct? And then schedule a meeting with your ward cluster. So all the 18s, all the 25s, all the 31s, get together and coordinate and help people in your community meet with one another. Okay. So that is a brief overview of the resources that we have available for you. So at this time, I'd like to see if you have any questions.
Did we also want to record this part?
Yes, we can record this.
Got it.
Okay, thank you, Danny. Yes, Kathy.
Hi, this is actually Maggie Horn, sitting in for
Hi,
Kathy.
Maggie.
I have a few questions. If I'm, first of all, thank you. This is really helpful. I just want to say that. The other thing is I thought these lists were a list of all the Democrats in my precinct. It is or is not?
You can get lists of all the Democrats in your precinct. VoteBuilder, that is one of the lists you can pull. Now, getting a list of all the Democrats is usually a pretty big list. And so, you know, it's good to narrow it down to be more targeted to the work that you're going to be doing. Like I said, if you're looking for block captains, then maybe you want a list of people who are a little bit more active, not just anybody who's registered Democrat. So, yeah, depends on what you're wanting to do.
Thank you, because I got a list with the help of one of your folks. Thank you again. And I went around to my precinct and just dropped off, here's who I am, and if you want to reach me, you can do this, you know, that kind of thing. Nice. It was around 200 people, so I assumed it was probably most of the Democrats, if not all, but I just wanted to check based on what you were saying. The other thing is, how do we send corrections to you if as we're going around and we find out people aren't there anymore, this or that or the other thing? Who do we send those to? Can I go into the VoteBuilder? Do I talk to someone directly?
You can get access to do data entry, and Beth Jordan would be able to help you with that.
Yeah, she helped once before. Thank you.
Yeah.
Beth Jordan.
Is that a good way to do it, Beth, to give them data access where they can just input the data?
Or they can use Minivan.
Okay.
Are you only interested in active voters?
No, it depends on what you're doing. Sometimes there are campaigns to target people who aren't active voters and to try to get them activated. So, and maybe it's, as Maggie was saying, you know, just introducing to everybody, I mean, regardless of how active they are. So
We want to build our numbers in our precinct.
Yeah, the activity. And that, a good way to do that is to start with the directory or with the very active Democrats. If you can find one other person to help you, that's great. If you can find 2 or 3, that's even better. So it's, and having things ready for them to do to help you is a really good thing as well.
Thank you very much. That helps.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Claretta?
How can I get a recording of this meeting?
We're going to be making that available on the website and through the newsletter. So we'll make the recording available to everybody after the meeting. Probably by, Danny, what do you think, in the next couple of days or so?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. Any other questions? Anybody else? Okay. Well, thank you all very much. Go ahead and stick around and we will do a little bit more in-depth showing the directory, but this time we'll go ahead and end the recording. And thank you for joining us for this.